based on prior evidence provided, to be a black person and to be completely trustful of the media, of our governing body, is to damn near plead insanity. Enslavement, in actuality, in comparison to the narrative of the books. The books, necessary evil, enslavement. Colonization. You see how they butter up genocide and ethnocide. Colonialism. The narrative is different. We're coming and conquesting rather than we're coming and killing and indoctrinating. Separate but equal laws. The narrative is different than the actuality. The fucking water in the faucet is brown. The schools have less books. They never tell us the actual truth. So to be a black person, male or female, and believe wholeheartedly every time the media perpetuates a narrative that they're telling you the fucking truth, they're being outright honest, is to plead insanity. Furthermore, to believe that they're out for your health, the betterment of your well-being, black man, black female. You don't have evidence in history that shows it. Tuskegee experiment, the MMR vaccine, the higher rate of autism that we get from the MMR vaccine, at least correlations. I'm not saying I know the actuality of these statistics, but I'm telling you, the narrative is always different. And as far as protecting our health in the black conscious community, you gotta be fucking kidding me if you think our media has ever perpetuated black health, black consciousness, black growth, black education. So why would we believe them? Okay, look. It's a lot of information out there, so it's a lot of misinformation and information, so I can only give you my truths and what I know to be the facts of the matter, even though I don't know essentially what is the exact actual truth. I'm being the one truthful nigga out of all the information motherfuckers to tell you I don't know exactly the truth of this matter. Now, riding the narrative, black people. First they said, oh, they got the reports in Africa that it's scarce and in hot conditions you can't get it. So now you have, oh, black people can't get it. That rhetoric is perpetuated. So black people don't have no worries. We ain't tripping, right? Consensus-wise. Later now, today, we're most likely to get it. Now, our whole mental matrix changes. As goes their narrative, goes our mind state about the shit. At first we was laissez-faire, then they said, oh, it might be serious. Now we like, oh shit, it might be serious. And now they say it's serious. Now we like, oh, it's serious. It's serious, y'all, it's real. For real. They told me so. To be completely trustful. And I'm not saying it's not real. I'm not saying there's not a new strain of coronavirus out there. I actually believe there is a new strain of coronavirus out there. However, the narrative that they're perpetuating is vastly different from the actuality. Like I told you, they told us Martin Luther King died in the hospital, but later reports come and qualify that he was smothered. They told us that the war on drugs would benefit us, but later on we find out that subtly they're doing it to disproportionately target black people. They told us that Ricky Ross was America's gangster and he sold crack, he pumped crack in the 80s and black people were America's gangster. And they left out the fact that the CIA gave him the drugs and funded a war in Nicaragua. They never tell us the truth. So why would you believe the truth now? And I understand, not everything is a conspiracy theory. But to conspire is just to plan. To make a plan. That's all it is. And you think they're going to let the public in on the plan? You think the government is going to let the public in on the plan? The intricate inside detailed design as to what is going to go and how we're going to move forward with our agenda. You think the public is going to have access to that? we're given bits and pieces of the information to scratch together. I think I give the public credit because we can discern what's true to a degree. For example, Deborah Birx, physician, doctor, representative of the White House, said in an interview, we're attributing pre-existing conditions, heart disease, obesity, hypertension, diabetes, I already said obesity, but pre-existing conditions, and somebody who's coming there with a cold or a flu and is admitted and has a coronavirus and dies, they're putting on the death certificate coronavirus death. She said that. Deborah Birx, Dr. Deborah Birx said that. That's a lie. To report that that's a coronavirus death is to say that diabetes or heart failure is not the motivating factor, in which it is. If somebody has HIV and then dies from the flu or gets the flu and dies, you don't put flu as the death. You put HIV. So they are literally inflating the rates, the death rates. They're inflating the amount of people who have it specifically in the black community. How? For one, you have the anecdotes of black people telling you they're going to the hospital, not being admitted, but they're saying, okay, I have a runny nose, right? And then they're saying, look, we're going to diagnose you as COVID, go home, stay home. They're not being admitted. There's not enough tests to admit everybody. So most people don't even know what the fuck they have or what's going on. The diagnosis is inconclusive. They're not using precise tests. That's how the numbers can be skewed. And that's why black people now purportedly lead the league in coronavirus and are dying at the highest rate. No, you're dying from pre-existing conditions. I said in my previous videos, cut out the middleman. Immunity, boost immunity, immune system. Y'all niggas are scared to change. That's what it is. You're scared to change, so you want that immediate gratification of, okay, let me take these measures that they tell me, and hopefully it'll work. But the real change is boosting your immunity to not fear any type of virus going on. Boosting your own system. You can only control so much within your environment. I'm not suggesting you don't quarantine. I'm not suggesting you don't wear a mask and gloves. Do you take all the precautions necessary? But don't skip that first step. Meat builds inflammation. If you heavily eat meat, processed foods, if you don't eat green foods, leafy foods, if you don't drink water, you have a higher chance of sustaining viruses, bacteria, germs, disease, whatever you want to call it. So, the media is not telling you that. The media ain't telling you to boost your immunity. Again, back to the main point. We have to assume other theories because what they tell us has generally not been truth. It's been a lie. I've gave you the 9/11. How many more anecdotes do I need to give you? Michael Jackson. At first they said Conrad Murray was the sole culprit. Till we found out Sony had ties to threatening Conrad Murray and things behind the scenes going on. That's what it means to conspire. Devise a plan that you niggas can't see. So most people gonna be like, oh, Michael Jackson conspiracy theory. Michael X conspiracy theory. Tupac conspiracy. Everything is a conspiracy theory to the nigga who believes what's on the surface all the time. Here, this is you blindfolded and somebody's telling you what they're feeding you. This is this. You ain't never ate it in your life. They telling you what it is and you eat it and you trust that it is what it is. They could be feeding you shit. But you trust it. And why is the main question? Why is my main question? Because the media is known for being distrustful to you. You have less support of them telling you the truth than them lying. And then also with the death rate, you have, or no, the rise in statistics as far as black people getting it. You have them literally putting, go YouTube the videos, misdiagnosing black people. It doesn't have to be a limited search. It can be broad. And you're going to see people going in there saying, look, I told the motherfucker I had a throat sore and they diagnosed me with the COVID-19. So they're putting out deliberately misinformation. They had Italy's facility and said it was New York on TV, Fox, I believe. So they're lying to us. We know for a fact that they're lying to us about certain shit. So to not think as if they are not conspiring about something would be redundant and naive and neglectful of you to multiple information. You can watch what they got and see what they got and see if it adds up, but dare I say go to alternative sources and figure out what Bill Gates is about, figure out what eugenics is about, and if you figure that out, Bill Gates, eugenics, depopulation, vaccinations, if you correlate those things and a microchip needed to prove you're not sick is what Bill Gates is going to implement, and trying to test it in Africa and making simulations about the COVID 6 months, 8 months ago. If you put all those things together as evidence, you might conclude they're not for the betterment of your well-being. What's going on is not finna be for the betterment of our well-being, but for the betterment of their future regime. Bill Gates is Thanos to me. If you know what Thanos was about, if you know what Bill Gates said on TED Talks with depopulating the nation, who you think he's going to choose as a eugenicist? Black, brown. People are saying in the facilities, oh, COVID is real because I see black and brown people. No, they're diagnosing all people, black and brown, as such. And it is real. The strand is real. And if those people do have it, they're in the fucking ICU because of pre-existing conditions. Boost your immunity and build it, and you might be an asymptomatic motherfucker who got it. There's a difference. You're not in the ICU because coronavirus is the most dangerous shit in the planet. You're in the ICU because you eat junk and you got heart disease, and now you got coronavirus and you're sick. You're more sick. It's common logic to me. It might not be to somebody, but it's